Music achrin al foodlog, o blancos tirano.
Um. Hi! Okay. I think this works now. Jesus! It worked! Okay. Hi. Hi everyone. You can hear me, right? Just type in chat. Can you hear me? Okay, good. Great. Oh, that was stressful. Okay. I found 3 fish that I think are interesting, and I figured because you started sending some suggestions in chat earlier, so I figured that we will go through these 3, and then afterwards we will go through viewer suggestions. What do you think? You say my audio or the audio in the background is too loud? The music is too loud? Hi Julian! Okay, the music is too loud. Let me fix that then. What is this? Negative. Say -20. Is that better now? Okay, if that's good, then we're fine. It's silent now, so it's too quiet. Let's reduce it by half. No, that's not what I typed. Yes, please. How about now? Okay. Okay. Let's put it back then. Also, you wanted it slightly louder. I'll do -15 then, and call it. Okay, doke. Do we go fishy talk? Yeah. Do you want arowana, mud skippers, or langfish first? And then we'll do suggestions. Okay. Arowana are strange little things. They look like this. And they are the thing that you can fish out on the Sky Islands in Tears of the Kingdom. They come in variety of colors, and they happen to be the most expensive aquarium fish in the world, if not pet in general. Which is weird. I don't exactly remember the story why, but the record price they sold for was like $300,000. So, let's just go to Wikipedia. Because unfortunately most search results I got for arowana are all in Polish. So I'm gonna need to do some more specific ones afterwards. Let's start with Wikipedia, that's a good place to start. They are a freshwater type of fish. I'm pretty sure they are from Asia. Sapphire, blah blah blah. The head is bony and the elongated body is covered by large heavy scales with a mosaic pattern of canals, which we saw on the photos. The dorsal that will be like the belly fins, I think? Not the dorsal fin. Yeah, that would be the belly fin. And the anal fin is the one along the tail. Anal fin. Soft rays are long-based, which I have no clue what that means, while pectoral and ventral fins are small. The name bony tongue is derived from a toothed bone on the floor of the mouth, the tongue equipped with teeth that bite against teeth on the roof of the mouth. Okay. They are certainly strange. Arowana is a facultative air breather and can obtain oxygen from air by sucking it into its swim bladder, which is lined with capillaries like lung tissue. That's interesting. I didn't know that. So they're kind of like beta fish then. They are strange. I'm not sure if I would call them cute. They are certainly strange. Hi Foxy. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that they breathe air as well. I know that certain species of other aquarium fish like betta fish and gouramis do that. They have something called a labyrinth organ, I believe. And they just kind of gulp in the air and do it that way. So they do something similar, they just use swim bladder for that. Thank you, Foxy, that's nice of you. Apparently your streams. Yeah, apparently! Evolution! In South America, arowanas diverged from Asian and Australian sclerophages. Arowanas about 700 MYA during the Middle Jurassic. Very old. They are exclusively freshwater fish family found on both sides of Wallace Line. What is Wallace Line? Formal boundary line drawn in 1859 by the British naturalist Alfred Russel Wallace and named by the English biologist Thomas Henry Huxley. Where is that? I swear I know geography. Australian and Southeast Asian fauna. That's not Australia. That looks slightly like Australia. Unless it's like, because of the lines, they aren't representing the continent exactly. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. Oh, is it upside down? Why not fish lore? I got this the king of the arowana. Good night, Minko. Okay. Let's try next round, I guess. Maybe. Would show something else. That's even Endscreen. So yeah, that's Australia. That's Papua New Guinea. So yeah, I think it's just some like extra. They are probably marking like territories of animals or something, and that's why. That's why it looks so strange. Yeah, now it makes sense. Okay. See, that's clear. Here I can tell it's Australia. Oh, it's old glaciers. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, you're probably right. Your wants to know how long the stream will last. Tell them I think 2 hours, unless I just fold and can't do it anymore because I'm also kinda tired today. I'm not gonna lie. So we shall see. But I'm aiming for like 2 hours-ish. Anyway, they are found on both sides of Wallen's line, so on both in Australia and out. This may be explained by the theory that Asian arowanas diverged from Australian sclerophages about 140 MYA, making it likely that Asian arowanas were carried to Asia on the Indian subcontinent. Okay. Fossil record. That's a red arowana. They come in a variety of colors. At least 5 extinct genera, known only from fossils, are classified as those. I'm not even trying to read that. These date back at least as far as the late Cretaceous. Other fossils from as far back as the late Jurassic or early Cretaceous are widely considered to belong to the arowana superorder DAT, Osteoglossomorpha. All continents except Antarctica. That's wide range. Holy. These fossil genera include these 3. A lot of them are extinct. Most of them are extinct. So it's like 2 genuses of them that are still going. Yeah, I'm like an hour behind Embor. So you are like towards Russia, right? You would be like Balkans maybe? I know Bulgaria is like an hour ahead from Poland. I'm not sure, Bitter. I don't think it's exactly that, because they also, from what I recall, used to be just a common food fish in Asia before some rich people decided that they are expensive now. The past for me it's only 1 PM. You're in America. That's why. It's the whole ocean. So you know, the other side of the globe and all that. Behavior, they are carnivorous, often being specialized surface feeders. They're excellent jumpers. If they feed on the surface, then probably they might eat lots of bats, I would guess, because that's what's usually on the surface of the water, though I could be wrong. They are excellent jumpers. Species have been seen leaping more than 6 feet, which is 1.8 meters. Jesus Christ! From the water surface to pick off insects and birds from overhanging branches in South America, hence the nickname water monkeys. Excuse me, what? Arowana. 8-foot gamer. It's arowana. This is the most expensive aquarium fish in the world. And also the thing that you can catch in Tears of the Kingdom in Sky Islands. Perhaps because they can jump really high. Yeah, no, a fish. How long? They are 2 to 3 feet in captivity. But what about wild? Ancient water monkey would have been a crazy enemy. Yeah, that would be such a cool idea. It'd be fun. Does the fish stream involve any Zora? I do not plan on that. We're just going IRL fish. Because that's what people were feeling apparently when I said either I play a game or we talk about fish, and everyone said, yay, fish! So we're doing fish. Yeah, they can grow almost a meter long in captivity, which is also scary. That's a big fish. That's a really big fish. I actually saw one once IRL in a pet store. I didn't check for how much it went, but it was crazy to see one like in a small town in a tiny pet store hidden in a basement. Because that's what it was. It was a pet store hidden in a basement of a building. Like on the opposite side from the road. It was the road and you had to walk around the building to get to the basement with the pet store in it. And they had an arowana. It was so crazy to me. They have crazy shit in general. I remember they had like, what's the thing called? I need to Google it. Hold on. I need to Google what it's called in English. Array. They had some sort of a either saltwater or freshwater array once, which is such an exotic thing to have in a regular corner store. pet store. So strange. You could always do fishing minigames. I could maybe on the browser. I don't have anything open. I don't have any games prepared to play right now with fishing minigames. I could play Hades. That has fishing minigame. Oh, Burp says our other store has arowanas. Do you know for how much they go for? I will try to find the type of ray that it was. Pet ray. Oh, it was one of those. Hold on, I need to put it in the correct browser window. It was one of these things. It's not freshwater, it's definitely saltwater. At least it looked kind of like that. The ray that I saw. Yeah, Ember, I use DuckDuckGo. I avoid Google as much as I can. It's just like kind of comes in with being in IT. Yeah, it is a pretty. It was really cool. It was small. I think these grow big. It was very small and hugged the window a lot. Anyhow, then tell us in Discord, Burp, because I'm really curious. I know from what I read about beforehand that they can range a lot, with some being not reasonably cheap, but you know, cheaper than 300,000. I will get to that, Hiteni. I hope so. I'll try. Hi, D-Shadow. Thank you for joining our scholars channel members. Yeah, thank you. Very tired, so have a very nice stream about a lot about fishes. Bye. Bye, Peter. Have a good night. Thank you, 8foot. See you around. Okay, so back to water monkeys. Arowanas can be troublesome to keep as pets. They are expensive, which is what I said. They are very expensive. Require wide living space. No wonder if they can grow up to a meter long. fish generally need a lot of water per length of them. The goldfish, which people tend to keep in bowls, which is criminal, not because of the shape of the tank, from what I understand, but because those bowls tend to be very small, and a common goldfish needs 80 liters of water at a minimum. So yeah. Hey, I apologize, the music is slightly too loud. I just like to let you know. Join the Discord. Thank you, Indigo, for joining the Discord. If the music is too loud, I can turn it down. I'll put it back. Jesus Christ. OBS, please work. Are we good? There we go. Now it's quieter. They made fish bowls illegal in New Zealand. You know, it's probably for the better. Like I said, it's not necessarily the problem with shape. I think I've heard some arguments about the shape being confusing to sensory things with fish, that because they refract light weirdly. I'm not sure how much of that is true. Definitely the main problem is the amount of water in them, and the fact that heaters and filters aren't exactly made to fit the shape. So they are a little bit difficult to get set up correctly. So I've seen some decent bowls with like a lid, a light, and they were pretty big in a pet store once. So maybe there is a way to do it correctly? I'm not too sure. I never looked into bowls that far. Because there could be still like arguments against them. The rectangular tank can also be even if it's too small, you know? But yeah, they require a lot of living space. There are picky eaters. I can believe that. And need a lot of care. Arowanas are renowned for their aggressive behavior and personality. So kind of like a beta. Several species of osteoglossids exhibit parental care. They build nests and protect their young after they hatch. Nice! Also kind of like beta. At least males do that. All species are mouth brooders, the parents holding sometimes hundreds of eggs in their mouths. The young may make several tentative trips outside the parent's mouth to investigate the surroundings before leaving permanently. Unlike most fishes that start reproducing at around 6 months of age, the arowana usually takes 3 to 4 years to reach sexual maturity. That's a long time for a fish. In aquarium, depending on the classification system used, there are 10 types of arowana commonly kept as pets. 4 from Asia, 3 from South America, 2 from Australia, and 1 from Africa. Asian arowana is an endangered species and banned in the United States. It is a status symbol among wealthy Asian men. There we go. An albino arowana sold for a record price of $3,000 in 2009. Most pet arowana are farmed behind high security fences because they are so freaking expensive. Arowanas are solitary fish and only allow company while young. Sounds about right. They strike me as solitary fish. They don't look like something that would create wounds. Adults may show dominance and aggression. Some compatible species often partnered with this fish are clown knifefish. These things. Clown featherback, also known as the clown knifefish, and spotted knifefish, nocturnal species of tropical fish. I know of Amazon knifefish. They are very cool. They don't look quite like this, but they are kind of similar. They are really mesmerizing to watch while they swim. other species that they are paired with are peiku, omnivorous South American freshwater cerastamid fish, related to piranhas. Nice. Oscars, I recall that one, I've seen that online. It's a cichlid. Jaguar cichlids. Hey, these are nice. I like the spots on this. This looks really cool. Green terrors. Why is it called that? Colorful freshwater fish in the cichlid family. The fish originates from the Pacific side of South America, from Tumbes River in Peru to the Esmeraldas River in Ecuador. Polymorphic and can have white or gold orange edging on the tail and dorsal fins. Pause. I need to know why it's called green terror. Directly being confused with two other species that always have narrow, clearly defined white edging. Not considered true green terror. Yeah, cool. Why the name? Popular in the aquarium trade, noted for its hardness, aesthetic appeal. 30 centimeters in length, that's big. 15 to 20 are more typical. Fish do not grow based on the size of their habitat. Okay. Aggressive fish. The exception of fully mature cichlid, jaguar cichlid with rarely. Cichlid and jaguar cichlid which rarely cohabit peacefully. Is cunning enough to survive and even thrive with larger cichlids. However, as a rule, praying cichlid is capable of consuming any animal whose dimensions are inferior to that of the cichlid's fully expanded jaw. Green terror of an appropriate size can often be assimilated with these things and are similarly aggressive cichlids. Has been used as a model for effects of testosterone on maternalization. See, when I read a name like Green Terror, I imagine that there is a story behind that. But Wikipedia refuses to tell me. That's unfortunate. There's also Gar, these are cool. Tinfoil barb. Freshwater fish of family Cryptinae. Okay? And Siamese tigerfish. I can see why they called it tigerfish. Any other somewhat aggressive fish that cannot fit in the arowanas mouth. A lot like the green terror. It cannot fit in the mouth, so it's fine, because it can't eat it. These fish are best kept with live or frozen feed, and they easily outgrow the tank within 8 to 10 months. An aquarium with the minimum diameter of 6 by 3.5 feet, which is 1.8 by 1.1 meters. 1,100 liters of water. 300 US gallons. Yeah, big tank. Bare minimum. But 1,500 or 3,000 liters is the best way to go. Yeah, rich people fish. Encyclopedia of fishes. Australian species are best kept alone in aquaria. It is estimated that the total annual revenue of the Asian arowana sector was over $200 million globally since 2012. The name comes from the Tupi language, arowana, arowana, or arowana. I'm not sure how to read that correctly. Yeah, these things. We can look at some videos. Show me. Super clean freshwater arowana tank. Amazing. Let's go to YouTube. Stop being so weird. And we have music. Fine. It's too big. I'm on a big screen. Okay. Well, it's gonna be small. Pretty! Look at the pretty fish. Meanwhile, I Google and try to find a source on the story for why they are so expensive. That's hopefully in English and not in Polish. Why are arowana so expensive? Viral literacy. Probably. As a shark, I can confirm those are friends, not food. Yeah. Heidi Shadow. I hope I'm reading you right. Do you have a tank for them, if you were to buy? I do not have... What, Torto? I do not have the space in my living quarters big enough to accommodate a tank for an arowana. These things are too big. I have a tank that's 68 liter with a beta and some Endler guppies in it. Okay. I found some blog. I found some web pages that could help us understand why they are so damn expensive. Here is Fish Trivia article. Let's see. I don't need the introduction. Arowana brings good luck and wealth to Asian culture. Also, I need to switch to the tab with chat, just so I can see you. Arowana is hard to breed in captivity. With Asian arowana so costly, the cost of silver arowana are also rising. The issue is that the silver arowana does not come from Asia but from South America. Why is the Asian arowana so expensive? Asian arowana is indeed a species of fish you probably never heard of or saw. It is the costliest aquarium fish in the world. The fish, which could be found in tropical freshwaters of South Asia, grow up to 3 feet in their native environment. In addition, it is one of the toughest predators on the planet with a dinosaur-like attitude. Its body is coated with huge metal scales which look like red pennies. Long thin hairs that protrude out of the chin of such a remarkable fish are also visible. I know, we saw them. It is undulated in water as it moves to remind you of Chinese paper dragon that is popular during the New Year holidays. The inhabitants of Asia believe firmly that fish bring good luck and wealth to those who keep them. They also believe it to be a status symbol, which explains why many people would happily commit murder. That's phrased weirdly when it was written. Is it AI? It could be AI, oh no. But it says it has an author, so maybe it's not. It's probably just weirdly worded. I hate that you have to wonder that nowadays when you read a piece on the internet. You will be charged at least 150 grand to purchase one Asian arowana. The fish is so costly that some institutions that maintain them have built the utmost prison-like safety devices to protect them from theft. I heard about that. The farms in which the species is grown have towering cement fences and ferocious dogs. And that is not all. Razor-sharp barbed wires, watchtowers and cameras have also been erected. Albino arowana will price you double the normal arowana fish. You must pay 300 grand at least to acquire one. The species is so valuable that police escorts must escort it to the annual international fish competition of arowana. The police escort aims to wait away thieves who wish to steal or poison the fish. Arowana, which is endangered, is grown and marketed mostly in Southeast Asia. However, dealing with one in the USA may be a legal nightmare for you. American laws prohibit the maintenance, treatment or sale of rare species on their soil. Recently though, nearly 2 million species have moved into the States. This unique fish is so expensive because it is uncommon and the demand is strong. It's also a species that is endangered, which explains why more individuals wish to preserve it. And the arowana is linked to strong cultural values throughout Asia. The Asians think that fish are an outlet for infinite happiness and wealth. Moreover, in captivity, the species is extremely difficult to procreate. They exclusively reproduce in their native environment, and thus their populations cannot be increased without first losing them. Moreover, they are used as a prestige symbol for Asian people, who also refer to arowana as the dragonfish. There are now millions and millions of Asians. If each of them wants to possess an arowana fish to bring prosperity and wealth, the price clearly will rocket with strong demand. Okay, so it's a cultural thing. The fact that it's endangered also adds to that, but it's not the source because it was overfished beforehand. Arowana typically belongs to the Osteichthyia fish family. The fish species have recently acquired fame in the aquarium business. Avid fish collectors sometimes spend millions of dollars on arowana fish for its unique beauty and color variety. Otter lore, please. We can do otters afterwards, but beforehand there was that Hawaiian fish that you mentioned. We could do otter lore. It's fine. In essence, fish may come from locations such as Asia, Australia, America, and Africa. Asian arowana seems to be an exception, though ago and is classified as a species at risk. They are the most famous in the aquarium sector because they are classified as endangered species. You cannot buy the wild species, but you may still purchase the captive bred ones that come with a microchip in their body. They microchip the fish? Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. I mean, it makes sense when they are so expensive, I guess. In case someone steals them, I suppose. Can you imagine someone breaking in just so they can steal a fish? How do you even steal a fish? Do you come in with a waterproof bag? But they are like a meter long. How do you steal a meter long fish? Hi, Prophet. Oh man. Well, I just got a story idea. Well, I'm glad to be of service, Lulu. High stealth score. I mean, yeah. Yes, yeah, Sylvian, if they want to steal a fish... they would need, like, at least... at least an at 20, I feel like, to get in and get out with a fish. Yeah, that's 20 on every chunk. It's essentially the cake, yeah. Essentially that. Man. Alright. There is tangled, gold arowana, green albino, blah blah blah. Cost of arowana vary depending on the kind and area, which makes sense. First, we are going to look at the cheaper property. American silver arowana is the cheapest, $600 to $800 to acquire one. The second choice is pearl, which costs between $200 and $300. I'm confused because they said they are first looking at the cheaper ones, and they said 6 to 800, and then they went 200 to 800 to 300, which is less. I don't know. Very large pockets. Verb and his invisible messages. Okay. It'd be like robbing a high security bank, but you have to sell the spoils. Kind of, yeah. My mind has been expanded. Mine too. This is very interesting. Let's consider the costly variety. 25 grand to 35 grand dollars for red-tailed gold. Green, depending upon the on-farm you buy, that's 40k to 50k. Golden arowana or chili is 70k to 150, and then albino runs 200 to 300,000. Pricing tends to vary from area to area. So, you know, if you'd like your arowana cheaper, then you might have luck and save like 10 grand on an albino. I think the question should be, why are they stealing fish? Frozen, the answer is money. They are very expensive. How dare you say something so controversial? I'm not sure what you are referring to. There is a delay. The fish is the only thing the BBG is weak to. Black market arowana. Can you imagine running a D&D campaign and then there is a BBG, like a lich or something, and their main weakness is fish, and you just slap them with fish on the face? And it's a gimmick fight like that. That sounds funny. I wouldn't recommend doing that. Players would be upset probably. It would be funny. Here, have my life saved. Steal an arowana. I don't recommend theft. For legal reasons, I don't recommend theft. It's not ideal. You shouldn't do that. That's called cornobling. Sure, man, sure. It's always best to follow the rules of companies that take care of endangered species to avoid penalties and fines. Yeah, great. If you are and can afford an aquatic life enthusiast. What's with the sentences on this website? Like, it has an author that could potentially exist. Maybe it's like a fake pen name for AI, because that's... Like, if you are an aquatic life enthusiast, that makes sense. If you are and can afford an aquatic life enthusiast, that sounds like they want to buy an enthusiast. These are the implications of that, of the phrasing here. That's such weird phrasing. Why did they do that? To establish whether you can preserve the uncommon species. Yeah. Okay. Do I have black market enthusiasts too? Yeah, you're right. What do I have? The other tabs. Here is one. Urban fish keeping. Why are platinum arowana so expensive? They are believed to bring good luck to the owner, their status symbols, and they are incredibly rare. You know, people in Asia have actually gone to prison over the fish. If they tried to steal them, sure. Probably Google Translate that they used. Possibly. Could be the reason. I already closed it. Yeah, maybe. That could be why. Hello, Dragon. Hope I've got to watch VOD later. Oh, you're feeling bad, Hiteni? I'm sorry. Or I've got to go, I'll watch the VOD later. That makes more sense. Yeah, see you around then. Probably not the last time I stream since I've set it up and I know how to do it now. Probably fine. Some fish have their own motorcades, and breeders protect their fish by building layers and layers of concrete walls. However, it's interesting that these fish were filleted and devoured until the second half of the 20th century. Yeah, that's what I said earlier, is that they were a common food fish before they became the most expensive pet fish in the world. Platinum arowanas swam their way into the aquariums only in the late 1960s. And today these fish even go through cosmetic surgery to appear more beautiful and grab the highest bid. Rich people are so weird. Why would you do that to a fish? That's actually disturbing. They are believed to bring luck and wealth. Yeah. It has intense believing a certain fish can change your life. In Southeastern Asia, platinum arowanas are known to bring good health, happiness, and prosperity. Yeah, I know, Cake. Why? So people go as far as kidnapping the fish. There we go. Yeah, that's why they are chipped. People kidnap the fish. Reminds me of how lobsters went from peasant food to upper class dining. Yeah, kind of. Kind of those masters, that's kind of like that. Better question why not. Ugh. I swear to God. Yeah, kidnapping the fish, pressing criminal charges, going to prison over it. crazy considering how many types of fish are so naturally stunning. I know! I don't even think that arowana are that pretty, personally. Like, they're fine. They're fish. I like sturgeons better. I think sturgeons are much more handsome. And so are freaking plecos. The pleco type fish. They are really beautiful to me. They come in variety of shapes and sizes as well. Some of them get crazy big too. They are status symbols. Besides showering you with undisposed slag, these fish are also capable of catapulting you to the top of the social scene. Owning platinum arowanas is a status symbol, just like owning a car or a house. They are rare. Due to overfishing in the 70s and 80s, these fish have today become super rare. You will hardly find them in the wild. And you know the drill, with commodities, the price rockets. They live a long time. 20 years! That's longer than dogs. That's so much longer than dogs. Damn, that is a long time. There have been unconfirmed reports of platinum arowanas making up to their 50th? I don't really believe this, but there is no denying they are a long-term commitment. Yeah, if the common lifespan is around 20, then 50 sounds extremely unlikely. Because that's over double. Other expensive fish. Stingray! This apparently once sold for 100k. Blue-eyed pleco, yeah, plecos. Plecos are very pretty. I really like plecos. They look like they have armor on them. They are so cool. I'm not sure what variety is that. But apparently, common plecos are $3 to $5. Blue-eyed cost you around 150 for a youngling and up to 600 for an adult. Nice. You own fish because you seem interested in them. Yes, I have a beta, I have a pleco, which is a common bristlenose pleco, some endler guppies, and woolly loaches. Though the beta isn't in the best shape, admittedly, I'm not sure what he's tearing his fins on. I've changed the decor of the aquarium multiple times now, and I still don't know what's causing it, and I'm not sure if I can help him. I'm not going to get beta again because, Jesus, I can't keep them. I can't figure out what to put in the aquarium so that they don't tear. And I don't want to keep them in an empty tank because they need enrichment. For how expensive arowana are, I can only get 6 rupees from selling one. Hylian deflation. Yeah, I know! I know! It's crazy! I actually kind of wanted to make a sort of a joke video about this, and I still might. Just like drop a bunch of arowana facts. And then conclude it with a gag about how much they sell for in Hyrule. Finrod. You know, Burp, I don't think so. Because it looks like it's mechanical tears. They shred. It's like they got put through the shredder. And it appears at random. They grow back. And then they are shredded again. And sometimes there is a gap of months in between. I've tried to treat betas for Finrod before, and it never did anything, because it wasn't Finrod, it was mechanical. We don't have the goldfish, but apparently it is a unique variety that went for a $300 one. Finrod can cause that after long enough. Yeah, but isn't that Finrod shows on the fin beforehand, because the fin looks fine, and then it shreds. I'm not sure. It's odd. Definitely odd. And this goes. I wonder if they're side shaming the goldfish. What did they say exactly? Oh, that's so unique that we 2-inch fish. I mean, 2 inches is small for a goldfish. Goldfish are actually pretty big. The ones you see in pet stores can be very tiny because they are young, but they grow pretty big. There's someone I can ask. Okay, if you can do that, Burb, I'd be grateful. And see if maybe I can help the fish. Because right now I'm mostly just sad about him. I don't want him to be in pain, but I don't know what to do. The standard price for young discus is pretty reasonable, costing around 20, but a mated pair will easily cost you over 500. Okay. Yeah. I think we can maybe stop with the arowana right now, because we've read quite a bit on that. And now Hiteni asked to go for that Hawaiian fish, if I can find that in chat. Where is it? There we go. I'm not sure if I can read that. That! Reef tigerfish, that's so much easier. I got a total of 53 ancient arowana. That's quite a few ancient arowana. Now if it was a real world setting, that would net you a lot of money, but unfortunately in Hyrule, they aren't valued by that much. €318 CP. I mean, in Hyrule economy, that's not terrible. Although in Tears of the Kingdom, everything is more expensive, isn't it? They raised the prices on everything because there was an inflation apparently. The princess returns, and then what? Everything goes up in price. She ruined the economy. It's because of all those research expenses. I bet that's what it is. So, Humu Nuku Apua. I think I read that right. Humu Nuku Apua redirects here. Norseman triggerfish. Okay. The reef triggerfish, also known as the rectangular triggerfish, or its Hawaiian name, that. I don't read phonetic, I'm sorry. Meaning triggerfish with a snout like a pig. That's not nice. He looks stupid, but that's not nice. The name is so easy to pronounce. Yeah, that's a thing with Hawaiian as a language. I think at least from what I saw of it, they tend to have words that are strange, at least to me. So it can't be worse than Finnish. I'll look for that actually. Let's see. the Finnish language. Finnish. Words. Strange. "15 fascinating untranslatable Finnish words that we need in English." Yeah, there we go. Some examples. Look at this. Like, this one is fine. Sisu, fine. What is this? What is this? Alcohol stronger than 5.5% is sold only in government-run bottle shops called Alco. Every Alco is organized in the same way and looks the same. The wine on top shelf is for the rich folk and the bottom shelf is more suitable for a student budget. This is the low-income choice. It's squat wine. Tossico, fine. Camo's fine. Loili. Okay, at least it's short. Tukoto. Oh, that's one of those stranger ones. I recall that I once looked at a food label, and there was a Finnish translation to it, because apparently that thing, whatever it was being shipped to Finland. And I swear the thing I saw was majority vowels. The words were mostly just vowels. Tuliainen, Talkut, those are fine. They aren't as bad as I thought they would be. My favorite Welsh town name, Dashmaster. I am not even going to attempt that. I heard of a weather guy who read that so fluently and beautifully. I cannot do that, so I'm not even going to try. Not gonna lie, that word looks like someone smacked a computer keyboard and decided it was a word. Yeah, exactly! And like I said, I don't know what the words were, but on that food label I saw words that presumably mean things that you would usually find on a food label. And it was a string of A's, a consonant, a string of A's again, and a few more consonants. It was like, what even is this and how do you say it? I don't know. It's a strange language, but I'm pretty sure it's strange because it's a different language group completely. Because I think, I could be wrong, so grain of salt and all that, I'm not a specialist on languages, but I believe that they are just like a group of people that wandered in from elsewhere to Europe, and they settled, and they just have a very different language because of that, because they aren't Germanic like all the other Scandinavian languages and English and German are. So yeah, that. But back to the triggerfish. It's also apparently called humo humo for short. Thank you. I can say humo humo, that's fine. It's one of several species of triggerfish. It is found in coral reefs in the entirety of the western Pacific Ocean, from north to south and eastern central Pacific. It's also found in the Indian Ocean from east to west and the southeast Atlantic Ocean. It exists in 0 to 50 meters in depth. That's pretty deep. I think the deepest I dove ever was like 10-ish meters down. It wasn't in scuba gear, it was just snorkel. It was free snorkel. And the pressure you get on your ears when you are doing no like specialized equipment, protection and stuff like that diving is very palpable at 10 meters of depth. So the range of 0 to 50 is quite a bit. 50 meters of depth is a lot of depth. I believe from what I heard about scuba diving is that there is a lot of technical things that go into doing a dive that goes even as far as 300 meters deep. So 50 is quite a bit already. Description. It has a small second dorsal spine. I don't think they mean spine like a spine. I think they mean spine like spikes, which is used to lock its main spine. Nope, never mind. It apparently just has 2 spines. Do they have like a photo of a skeleton of this thing? Hold on. Reef triggerfish skeleton. Just want to see a skeleton of this thing. Huh. Yeah. This thing just has casually multiple spines. They aren't attached, so they don't have the typical features of a spine, of the nervous system and all that, I'd assume, probably. At least not the thing that comes from the brain. Unless maybe through soft tissue? It could have some through soft tissue, though that seems strange, it would be unprotected. This is so weird. Australian Museum. It's not very visible on the scan. Triggerfish skeleton articulation taxidermy. They look so strange. Ah! Also, what is that? Alright. It has a small second dorsal spine, which is used to lock its main spine into an upright position when sheltering in a small crevice. This locking helps to protect the fish against extraction by a predator. Also, it says dorsal. So isn't that the bottom of the fish? I don't do the nomenclature in English very often. Dorsal meaning. Let's check, so I'm not stupid. Back or upper surface of an organ. That is not very helpful. On the back, but what does it mean for a fish? Oh, it's the... Okay, it's the upper fin. Dorsal fin of sharks for the benign relevant porpoises and dolphins. Okay, so it would be the top fin. Yeah, it's the top fin. I figured it out. Guys. Yeah, so they mean the upper spine. Yeah, it has 2 spines. Wow. Okay. When sheltering in a small crevice, this locking helps protect the fish against extraction by a predator. Okay. The reef triggerfish is characterized by having a noticeably large snout and blue lips, you don't say, that resemble that of a pig's snout. It has strong teeth and a terminal mouth, which help aid in scraping food off surfaces. Along the dorsal side and an anterior end of the fish, it has an orange-brown coloration and a white belly. The reef triggerfish has 3 dorsal spines, a lot of dorsal rays, no anal spines, and soft rays. The soft dorsal fins, anal fins, and pectoral fins have a pale white coloration to it. The caudal fin has a cloudy, murky color. Okay. The reef triggerfish is commonly confused with its 2 closest living relatives, the lagoon triggerfish and Picasso triggerfish. What is a Picasso triggerfish? Pretty. Not sure why they call it Picasso. It doesn't remind me of Picasso. But it's very pretty. It's very colorful. Nice. Feeding. Terminal mouth that sits directly at the end of its snout. It has heavy teeth and incisors, and most of its food content is algae that is scraped off surfaces. It also feeds on crustaceans such as isopods from the sandy ocean floors. When foraging for food, it remains close to its home or forages in shallowy reefs away from living coral. This fish is considered a facultative omnivore because while it eats plants and animals, it can sustain itself on a diet of either or. Yeah, that makes sense. Water break, I'm sorry. Alright. Sounds. It's recorded to make 3 distinct sounds, have been categorized as grinding, drumming, grunting, and snapping. Attached is a recording of what drumming sounds are. Where is it? Here? Fish sounds. Okay, hold on. We are pausing the music. We are going to listen to fish sounds. If it wants to load the page. Please, internet, work with me. Fish sounds. View editor notes. 1 sound entry. That's a recording. I can't play it from this thing. I have to download it. Fine. Let's see. Let's see this thing. It's gathering my audio from the whole device, so it should play to you anyway. Okay. Throbbing is definitely a way to describe that. Did you hear that? Because I just increased the audio volume on my device, and I think that translates to louder for you. But I'm not sure. I didn't hear that. Okay. So instead, what we are going to do, because it's very quiet in the recording, I had to make it much louder for my end as well. It sounded like scratching. I did not hear it. I'm going to make the device audio much louder. It does sound like scratching, yeah. Lucky is right here. I'm just going to increase audio by a lot for the music. I'm going to have to undo that later. Can you work with me, OBS, please? I would like to put you at... Jesus Christ, OBS. It just won't. Weird bass scratchy noises. Yeah, that's what it was like. I was confused at the beginning too because I did not hear it until I made the thing much louder. Why is OBS not cooperating with me right now? The input's minus 25. Fine. Let's set it at 20 regular. There we go. Let's try that again. But yeah, these are like kind of scratching, kind of like you hit some two surfaces together essentially. It's very strange. Yeah, very strange. So now I need to set the music volume back down because you will go deaf if I play music now. There we go. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. I just had a fun idea. Do you want to put on Dark Souls music? Yes, that's all I need to hear. Okay. Alright. Dark Souls fish. Add to the intensity. Right now we are listening to the prologue, so you know, give it time. It needs to build up. I just put on the whole OST album. It's very tense. Perfect vibe for fish facts. Indeed! What's better for lore than freaking Dark Souls music, you know? a little too loud now. Anyway, the grinding sounds are heard when eating, so that's what it was. Oh, that's why it sounded so weird. I know what that was. They just recorded them because they said that the fish uses those teeth to scratch off things from rock. I think that's what we were hearing. I think they were feeding off of a rock. Long before time had a name, the first Spinjutsu master created Ninjago. Thank you, Cake, for your input. Yeah, they think the thing we heard was them eating. This is thought to be a signal used to indicate to other reef triggerfish that the territory is theirs. It is also believed that it is used to advertise their territories to attract females. Yeah, Burp. Hit me. When the other store gets baby arowanas in, they're $20. It's probably because they are so tiny. They are probably the cheaper varieties. But that's not a lot. That's crazy. So you can make an investment then. You can get a baby for 20, and if you manage to raise it to an adult, you can probably resell it later for hundreds. Right? You could probably try to do that. I'm not sure if I would recommend it because they sound like a nightmare to keep from what the things said. But if you are an experienced fish keeper, you could try it. And just flip them. Drumming sounds occur by flapping the pelvic fins from the sonic membrane, creating a Okay, never mind. I was so incorrect. So they aren't scratching rock then. Yeah, the grinding is... I think it's a different sound because we listened to Addendum 8, which was categorized as drumming. So we didn't hear the eating, we heard the drumming. So occur by flapping the pelvic fins from the sonic membrane, creating a vibration connection to the swim bladder. The swim bladder acts as a chamber to produce low and high frequency sounds. Drum rates increase when there are predators around, which can serve as an anti-predation function. These drumming sounds are similar to grunting sounds, which both involve the use of the swim bladder. Grunts are identical to that of a pig grunt and are mostly audible and recorded when physically holding the fish. What about the cost of food? Wouldn't that be a huge risk? Yeah, that's fair, Lucky. That's fair. You would have to count how much it costs to actually raise the fish. Especially since it said that they need like 3 or 4 years to be mature. So it's actually a pretty long time to keep them. You'd have to check how much they sell for and how much you have to pay to keep them before then. Okay. Snaps occur by the rapid extensions and retractions of the jaw. Audibly, there are no real differences between a snap and a grinding sound, however they occur at different frequencies and settings. The snaps are most observed during conspecific interactions such as territorial conflict. Although the true meaning of the snaps remains a mystery, reef triggerfish show no signs of kin selection. Interesting. That's very interesting. There aren't many fish that make noises to communicate, so that's very strange and very peculiar about them. Fascinating little creatures they are. They have unique and adaptive swimming motions. Triggerfish are thought to have low swimming maneuvers to compensate for such behavior. There are morphological adaptations. The fish have thick skin to aid in predation evasion. While swimming at low speeds, their flexibility in dorsal and anal fins makes it capable for them to exhibit ballistiform locomotion. Okay. Within these fins, they are also able to independently move them and generate their own thrust, allowing them to move in all sorts of directions, including backwards and hover in place. Ha! They are very strange. The muscle of reef triggerfish are reds, which are ideal for fish that are constantly on the move, much like the species of triggerfish, since this fish is always hunting for prey, foraging and defending territory. They also have wide muscle that is effective in quick bursts of movement and helps aid in complex maneuvers. How old is your beta? I'm not sure how old he was when I got him. He was fully grown. I had him for a few months at this point. I'm not totally sure. 5 months, I'd say. So it's not a really long time. And there weren't any problems for a while. The thing started happening very recently. Yeah, not old. Definitely not old. It's a young fish. While there is limited direct information on reproductive modes and strategies for the reef triggerfish, behaviors within triggerfish overlap one another. Examining the reproductive behavior of the Picasso triggerfish, one conclusion that can be drawn is that reef triggerfish exhibit similar behaviors. Both female and male Picasso triggerfish are territorial in space for foraging and egg spawning, while the female's criteria is based on the amount of food resources, low predation, and space that is available. The male's territory is determined by dominance. In the male's case, a haremic mating system is placed, where the more dominant males have more access to female mates. Okay. This is meant to increase the reproductive success of males, however, while defending a female can leave other females vulnerable to other mates, males decreasing the reproductive success of the original male. Males will generally invest more energy and resources in physical growth rather than reproduction. Females will invest more in reaching sexual maturity than halting physical growth. The difference in those life strategies reveals that females are smaller in size compared to males, but also an age difference. Red list. Listed as least concern. Although because the reef triggerfish is found to live in coral reefs, there are still many threats that may present themselves in the future. Currently, one major threat is that of global warming, its effects on coral reefs, which decrease oxygen levels and can increase hypoxia in the reef triggerfish. However, one study found that reef triggerfish can tolerate high levels of hypoxia. And they are kind of in danger. Like, if the reefs go, they probably go with them. But as long as the reefs are there, they are fine, which is nice to hear, because they are very interesting and kinda cute little critters. Oh, size tank, do you have him in? Sorry, not trying to bombard you with questions, no. No, not to worry, Burp. That is the 68 liter. It's a big tank. So he has lots of space. He's with that pleco and the Endler guppies, but I never saw the Endlers bite him, so that shouldn't be the reason for the problems. And pleco is a pleco, you know. I think I'm probably gonna head out. It was nice watching you here. Bye, Lulu! It is a Hawaii state fish. Official fish of Hawaii in 1985, but due to an expiration of a Hawaiian state law after 5 years, it ceased to be the state fish in 1990. Aww. On April 17th, 2006, a bill was presented to the governor of Hawaii, which permanently reinstated the reef triggerfish. Yay! The bill passed into law on May 2nd, 2006. That's awesome. That's such a fun fact. It's really cool. The reef triggerfish also holds cultural values to the Hawaiian natives, although it is not endemic to the Hawaiian waters. The triggerfish is thought to be connected to the Hawaiian pig god Kamapua. Kamapua was notorious for his violent behavior. He ended up marrying fire goddess Pele, but because of his behavior they began fighting. Pele fought with lava and Kamapua with control over the ocean waters. Pele requested the help of the underworld and the other gods. And together they drove Kamapua over a cliff, where he fell into the ocean water, becoming the reef triggerfish. The fish's thick skin is meant to symbolize the armor needed to swim past the waves of Pele. That's really cool. Yo, that's sick. Such a cool fish. It's mentioned in popular culture. In High School Musical too. In Hawaii, here we come. Huma huma nuka nuka pua. Alright. Nice. I unfortunately don't know enough about fish to really suggest any illness that might cause his fins to tear, and if he's that big of a tank, I doubt it's stress unless the other fish in there are bothering him, them character limit. Yeah, that's the thing, I don't think they are. The antlers are very chill, and the pleco is a pleco. He can get bothered if the betta swims close to him, but the most he does is try to chase him away, and that's the extent of the interaction. They just swim their separate ways, and the pleco is usually at the bottom, and the betta likes to spend his time over in the upper areas of the tank. So it's very strange that it's happening. I thought that's because of some decoration I had, because I had lava rock, but I pulled that out and it did not help in the slightest. So it wasn't that. I don't know. I'm just not sure what to decorate with, because it looks, like I said, it doesn't look like it's from illness. It looks like it's purely mechanical. Anyhow, that was the Hawaiian's national fish. It's very interesting creature. I just had an idea, instead of going to lungfish, which are also interesting. There is an archerfish. They are fun. These tiny critters feed by shooting bags off of branches with water. They literally spit water and hit the bag, and then grab the bag from the water as it is drowning. And the amazing part about this is that they can hit the bag with that spit arrow thing, even though the fish is beneath the water, so the light refracts, so they have to aim not straight at the bag, because if they aimed straight at where they see the bag, then they would miss every time. So they adapted for that. And it's freaking amazing that they can do that. Very clever things. So archerfish, it's a family of fish. They are tropical fish. They are shooting down land-based insects and other small prey with jets of water spit from their specialized mouths. The family is small, consisting of 10 species in a single genus. They don't know what a small family is. Roll out the red panda. The red panda is the only animal in that family. It's also not the red panda has nothing to do with the big Chinese panda. The big panda is a bear, and the red panda is closer to a raccoon. There is also that main wolf thing, which isn't a wolf, and it's also in its own family, and it's just this species of animal in it. It's so strange. But yeah, 10 species in a single genus, it's not... it's a small family, yeah. They live in freshwater streams, ponds and wetlands, but 2 or 3 species are euryhaline, inhabiting both fresh and brackish water habitats such as that and mangroves. They can be found from India, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka throughout Southeast Asia to Melanesia and northern Australia. So quite a decent range. Is it on the map? No, but they did a graph illustration of shooting a water at the bag. Animal names are so funny. Guess what a peacock mantis shrimp isn't? It isn't a peacock mantis or a shrimp. I don't remember what it is, but I bet that it's none of these things, if you are phrasing a question like that. Peacock mantis shrimp. Let's see what that is. It's a shrimp. Seems. That's stomapod native to the seabed in the Pacific native from. Yeah, it looks to be a shrimp. Yeah. Stomapod. Yeah. So it's not a peacock or a mantis. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, animal naming can be very funny. I'd also think that you'd think that freaking rabbits are rodents, but they aren't. They are lagomorphs. They have their whole genus just to themselves, or was it? It was order. They have this whole order just to themselves. Meanwhile, a porcupine is a perfect rodent. Can't you see it looks just like a mouse? Anyhow, archer fish have deep and laterally compressed bodies with the dorsal fin and the profile straight line from dorsal fin to mouth. Sizes are very small. Yeah, that's what I remember them as. So one species can reach to 40 centimeters, that's pretty big. Exotic fish for aquaria, difficult to feed and maintain by average fish keepers since they prefer live prey over typical fish foods. Yeah, I wonder why. They are remarkably accurate in their shooting. An adult fish almost always hits the target on the first shot. Although it is presumed that all archerfish species do this, it has only been confirmed by 3. They can bring down insects and other prey up to 3 meters above the water's surface. That's really far away. This is partially due to their good eyesight, but also to their ability to compensate for the refraction of light as it passes through the air-water's interface when aiming at their prey. They typically spit at prey at a mean angle of about 74 degrees from the horizontal, but can still aim accurately when spitting at angles between 45 and 110 degrees. They are really good. When an archer fish selects this prey, it rotates its eye so that the image of prey falls on a particular portion of the eye in the ventrotemporal periphery of the retina, and its lips just break the surface, squirting a jet of water at its victim. The archerfish does this by forming a small groove in the roof of its mouth and tongue into a narrow channel. It then fires by contracting its gill covers and forcing water through the channel, shooting a stream that, shaped by its mouth parts, travels faster at the rear than at the front. The speed differential causes the stream to become a blob directly before impact, as the slower leading water is overtaken by the faster trailing water, and is varied by the fish, to account for differences in range. It also makes it one of the few animals that both make and use tools, as they both utilize the water and shape it to make it more useful to them. They are persistent and will make multiple shots if the first one fails. There's a video. This stream is peak. Who knew listening to a fish talk was so entertaining? Thank you, Cake! I'm having fun too. Animals are very interesting. They make for good reading and discussion material. It's very cool. Let's see. Look at this crab. It hit. Dead on. It's so cool. Also, the name of that website was prey.gov. Ah, man. Names. Bullseye, yeah, indeed. Young archerfish start shooting when they are about 2 and 2.5 centimeters long, but they are inaccurate at first and must learn from experience. During this learning period, they hunt in small schools. This way the probability is enhanced that at least one jet will hit. Experimental study found that archerfish appear to benefit from observational learning by watching a performing group members shoot without having to practice. The distance of social learning in a fish is most remarkable, as it could imply that observers can change their viewpoint mapping the perceived shooting characteristics of a distant team member into angles and target distances that they later must use to hit. That's crazy. No, that's insane. Being able to learn to aim from observation of someone else shooting. Because normally when you, as a human, when you do shooting with like a bow or a pistol, you can't just learn to be more accurate by watching others be accurate. That's not how it works. You just have to practice and learn by doing how your weapon operates. So the fact that they can just look at another fish, hit a thing, and just come to conclusions from that is insane. It's amazing. It's very impressive. Oh, and speaking of fish using tools, I recall that there was some kind of fish, but I'm not able to Google it because I have no clue what that was. But I recall that there was some sort of a fish that was using like very basic tools to do stuff. I don't even remember what it was, but I think it was like a fish using little pieces of stick or whatever, or something, and building nests maybe? I'm not sure. I'm probably making things up. I read something somewhere one time. And I'm spitting right now. It's late. Anyway, little of their social behavior is currently known, beyond that archerfish are sensitive to and make changes to their shooting behavior when conspecifics are visible to them. This is probably as a result of the potential threat of kleptoparasitism. Word. Form of feeding in which one animal deliberately takes food from another. Strategy is evolutionarily stable when stealing is less costly than direct feeding, just when food is scarce and when victims are abandoned. So little of their social behavior is currently known. Beyond that, artificial is sensitive to and may change their shooting behavior when consequences are visible to them. Probably as a result of potential threat of kept parasitism that their artifice represents to a shooting fish. Yeah, that makes sense. Because if they shoot down a bug that's like 3 meters away, then they have to swim up to grab it. So another archer fish can just be waiting beneath the bug as it falls because they have such great ability to perceive depth and tell where they are in relation to their target. An archer fish will often leap out of the water and grab an insect in its mouth if it happens to be within reach. Individuals typically prefer to remain close to the surface of the water. Also, that's in terms of survival of the archer fish itself, that's an interesting hunting strategy, but it presents a problem in that in order to hunt, the fish has to be right next to the surface of the water, which means it's easy to grab for a bird, for example. So that's also like a downside to that whole strategy, but it's still very interesting. New research has found that archerfish also use jets to hunt underwater prey, such as those embedded in silt. It is not known whether they learned aerial or underwater shooting first, but the two techniques may have evolved in parallel as improvements in one could be adopted to the other. This makes an example of exploitation. It's a shift in the function of a trait during evolution. For example, a trait can evolve because it serves one particular function, but subsequently it may come to serve another. Interesting. Okay, then never mind. Then they don't necessarily have to be right next to the surface of the water. They can also hunt things that are way underneath, because they can do it both through the air and through water. Never mind then. I was incorrect. There are 9 varied species, 8 in the genus. They are all alive! Hooray! None of them is extinct. It's a pretty old fish, it seems. Okay. We finished the archerfish. EP. If I were to go through the mud skipper and lungfish as well, I think we'd be here for like at least another hour, and it's midnight here. So I can get the music slightly down. I think it's got loud because it's Dark Souls. But yeah, it's midnight here, so I think I'm going to end for today. But it was lovely reading about fish with you. And I'm going to do something again either next week or in 2 weeks. I'll see. Because this was fun. So, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for joining, boy.